Hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today I have you. Bloody Disgusting wants you to help create a new horror convention. As somebody who is a horror fan, who likes to cover horror news and physical media here on the channel, and who does love a good horror or comic book convention, I saw this and I thought, you know what? I'm going to bring this up here, and I'll let you guys know what I'm talking about because I was going through X and I saw this, and I follow Bloody Disgusting, and I'm going to bring this up. And I saw this that they posted out, and it says, what does your ultimate horror convention experience look like? Take our survey and help bring it to life. I love the Freddy Krueger gift because he's my all-time favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up the survey for us, guys. As you can see right here, this is Horror Convention Interest Survey. It says, let's gauge your interest in a horror convention to start. So I figured let's do the survey right here in this video, and I'll give my thoughts as I go along. Maybe there's some stuff I can spiel. Maybe they'll see this and listen to me a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But it says, let's gauge your interest in a horror convention to start. Have you ever attended a fan convention? Yes, I have. I've been to Horror Hound, and I've been to Chicago. It was called Chicago Comic Con, I believe. Chicago Comic Con. That's where I've been the most, and I've been to one up in Cleveland, but it was a Superman convention. But I've been to lots. But as far as that, I'm going to go ahead and put that on there for this. Now let's scroll down to this one that says, how interested would you be in attending a convention that focuses exclusively on horror fandom? I would be very interested in attending it. I would, because I'm a horror fan, and I really would like to go to a really cool, awesome horror convention. I would like to. So those are pretty simple. Let's go on to the next page here and see what they ask us. It says, so you're interested in a horror convention. Let's get into it. Number 3, if a horror-focused convention launched in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, how likely would you be to attend? Think immersive experiences, never before seen guests and reunions, and exclusive horror moments that make this convention a can't-miss event. Definitely would attend, probably would attend, might attend, probably would not attend, definitely would not attend. I probably would attend. I would say definitely attend if I can afford it. If I can get there and everything. So it says, would you be willing to try? Hey, there you go. It said, would you be willing to travel to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to attend this work convention? Yes, definitely. Maybe it would depend on your guest lineup programming. No, I would attend if it were closer to my reason. I'm going to say yes, definitely. Guests are cool. Don't get me wrong. I love the guests, and it would depend on the guests and what they have there playing. But I would definitely attend if I could. So let's scroll down here. It says, if Philadelphia is not convenient for you, which cities would you most like to see host a horror-focused convention? Well, I know it's already got one, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in because it's CICIN, and I can't even spell it, Cincinnati. And I misspelled it, so I'm going to go ahead and use spell check and make it say Cincinnati. Yeah, that's the closest city to me. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Nothing gets Horror Hound. I love Horror Hound, and I'm glad they have it, but that's just, it would be closer to me. I can't, if it was like in California and New York or something, that I couldn't do that stuff. It says number 6, what factors would most influence your decision to travel to Philadelphia for this event? Select all that apply. Affordable ticket, yes. Guest lineup, yes. Hotel availability and pricing, yes. Local attractions, food, nightlife, nah, that's not that. Whatever. The uniqueness of a horror con only, yes, that would give me. Travel costs, airfare, driving, yeah, that would be. Other than local attractions, I mean, if I'm going to have an awesome horror convention, I don't need to worry about the local attractions, right? And that's just me. But okay, we'll go ahead and we'll go on to the next page here. It says, let's dive deeper into what you want to see. Which parts of the horror fandom would you most be excited to see represented? Select all that apply. Books and comics, yes. Collectibles and merchandising, yes. Haunted attractions experiences, that would be cool. Movies and filmmakers, yes, it's yes. Podcasts and horror media, yeah, I'd be down for that. Special makeup effects, yep. TV shows or streaming originals, nah. TV shows, nah. Video games, I mean, yeah. I'm not a video gamer, so to all my gamers out there watching, I apologize. I would click that, but you can do the survey and you can click that, but I'm not a gamer, so I'm going to leave that there. And it says, what types of programming would excite you most? Please rank them in order of preference. And we got celebrity panels and signings, live podcast recordings, including Bloody Disgusting, screenings and premieres, horror cosplay contests, workshops, makeup, SFX writing, exclusive merchandise, interactive horror experiences, escape rooms, haunted walkthroughs, VR. I like that. Let's see. I'm going to go with, I'm going to put the interactive stuff first because I like that. Celebrity, I think I'll do celebrity and panels signing second. I think I'll do exclusive merchandise third. I think I'll do screenings and premieres fourth, and live podcast five. Horror cops. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Actually, I think I'll do horror cosplay six, live podcast recordings, including Bloody Disgusting six. I mean, horror cosplay contest five, and workshops makeup SFX seven. And to be honest with you, I want to see all those. I want to do all those. So yeah, I know I don't really like putting them in that order, but I would like to do every single one of those at a convention. So I'd be down for that. What celebrity guest would make this a must attend event for you? See, now that's hard because like most of these horror conventions and stuff really do typically get the good ones. You get like Robert Englund, you get Elvira, you get Kane Hodder, you get Chop Top, you get all the big wigs. You get all here recently. You get Damien Leone, Art the Clown. You get all them. You get Spencer from Ice Nine Kills. He's got his own horror convention as well. So you know what I would say. What celebrity guest would make this a must attend event? I don't know. I just like any really, any big or small. And you know what? While we're on that, real quick, before we get into the next one, is like as somebody who does this, who talks to actually, I've talked to celebrities and stuff on my channel and everything. One of the things I would love to do is meet them in person. And as when I talked to like Richard Gabai on my channel, yeah, he's predominantly known for more like comedies and stuff, but he was in the movie Nightmare Sisters with Leanna Quigley, which is sort of a horror comedy exploitation type film. And he told me like, he's ready to do the convention circuit, but nobody asked him. And I think that, with these horror conventions, if anybody at Bloody Disgusting or anybody's listening to this or whatever, I think something that is really cool is like, yeah, give us the big people like Robert Englund and Tom Atkins and all them, stuff like that. But also give us the people like Richard Gabai, Linnea Quigley, and all them. There's multiple levels of horror from the big franchises to the B movies to the C movies. And I think all that needs to be represented there because, yeah, just because maybe somebody won't want to see the naked co-ed that was from one horror movie as like a top billing doesn't mean somebody like myself wouldn't like to meet that naked co-ed and have her sign something and talk to her and stuff like that. So I think you got to have room for big and small guests. So that's why I put any big or small, and I hope you guys hear that. And it says, what horror-based podcast do you listen to? I'm going to put FanZcene Vids. Yes, I'm a bit of a horror podcast, and I'm also a bit of a physical media podcast. Horror is in the description of the channel. Yes, it is a YouTube channel, but if anybody watching this, my subscribers, followers, if you fill this out, please put Fancy Vids. Maybe I get down there and I'll be part of a panel or something. That would be really, really cool. I doubt it, but that would be really cool. So you're like, guys, if you do this survey, once again, link in the description, put Fancy Vids. Put Fancy Vids in there. All right. Okay. Put me in there. Let's go on to the next one here. What do we have next? It says, now that we have an idea of what you want to see and do, let's talk pricing and perks. How much would you expect to pay for a 3-day badge to a horror focused convention in Philadelphia? Less than 50 to 100, 100, 200, 200 plus. In these times and everything, I know a good VIP package could cost a lot of money, but I'm going to put from $50 to $100, right? Because that's in my price range. Of course, if I had more money, I would spend more money and do a bigger VIP. But I think that's a nice little VIP thing for me. $50 to $100. So you guys choose what you want. And it says, how likely would you be to purchase VIP passes with extra perks, reserved seating, exclusive merch, private events? I'd be somewhat likely if it is in my price range. It says, which add-ons would interest you most? Select all that apply. VIP meet and greets. Yes, that would entice me. Exclusive Bloody Disgusting podcast events. Yeah, sure, why not? Exclusive merch bundles. Yes. After hour parties. Yes, I would love to go to the after hour parties and concerts. Those things get insane. And they're fun, and you get to hang out with celebrities too that show up, so it's a good time. Horror themed tours of offsite events in Philadelphia. That would be awesome. So we'll move on to the next part, and it says just a few more questions. Okay, number 14. It says, how often do you consume media from Bloody Disgusting and or Bloody FM? By the way, I hate the word consume because I don't consume your media. I read it, I interact with it, I take it in. I don't consume it. I don't like that word. That's just me. That's a pet peeve. Says at least once a day, at least once a week, at least once a month. I'm gonna say maybe at least once a day, because I do get onto Bloody because I follow them on X. That's how I found this. I see their stories every once in a while when I get on there. It's not like once a day, but maybe like 3 or 4 times a week. I see it because I subscribe to them on Twitter or follow them. I go to their website, I read their stories and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll put at least once a day. Next, we have which bloody disgusting platforms do you engage with the most? I would say the website and the Twitter is what I do. I should follow them on Instagram. I didn't even know they had a YouTube channel. Screenbox, I don't do. Bloody FM podcasts. I probably should listen to some of those. I like those horror podcasts. Newsletter, mobile app. But yeah, sorry, bloody disgusting. I'm just typically I get my news from your guys' website, or I see you guys tweet out something on X, and that's how I get it. And it says, which of the following opportunities would you be interested in interacting directly with Bloody Disgusting? Live panels, meet and greets, photo ops, live podcast recordings. Live panels, meet and greets would be great. Photo ops would be fine. I'd check all them. Live podcast recordings, why not? Number 17, which of the following opportunities would you be interested in interacting directly with Bloody FM podcast talent? Dead Meat, Murder in America, BD podcast, Creepy Scare, or You Sleep, etc. I'll do all those. And I don't know if you guys are going to ask this or not, but whatever. But like, I want to get this out there real quick. I know this video is going on longer than I anticipated, so I hope people make it this far. People like Dead Meat and your guys' podcasts are great. They're huge and everything. I would like what I would really like, and this is a little selfish because I'm a little small. I'm a small timer here. Is what if you allowed like small time YouTubers or podcasters or whatever that dabble in horror and physical media and stuff like that, allow us to have little mini panels or something. Maybe people want to see us or help us to talk with like bigger, like Dead Meat and them, and make connections and learn how to grow and everything. That would be kind of interesting. And to have us, all like if we're going to have a horror convention here that celebrates horror and people in the love of horror and fans and people who do like I said, I've talked to like Adam Marcus, I've talked to Andre Gower, the Monster Squad, I've talked to Richard Gabby, I've talked to people, and I love to interact with these people in person and at these places, and maybe be able to talk and make connections and sort of pimp my stuff a little bit as well. But that's just me. That's just me. Up next, what do we have here? It says, instead of a final girl, let's get some final thoughts from you. What would make this horror convention in Philadelphia a must attend for you? Great pricing. Let's see, great pricing. Great guest. We'll put great guest and fun events. I think that's good enough right there. I think that's good right there. What concerns or barriers would prevent you from attending a horror-focused convention in Philadelphia? Price, uh, travel, and rooming. Yeah, rooming, like hotel and stuff like that. I think I'm going to leave that like that. Any additional ideals, features, or experiences you'd love to see at a horror-only convention? Like I was just mentioning, panels for up and coming YouTubers. Let's say YouTubers slash podcasts. I'm bad speller. Sorry, guys. Podcasters. To interact with bigger ones and to help create a better horror experience. There we go. That's what I like. That's what I'm gonna put there. And then next, it says, horror convention interest survey. Thanks for taking the time to share your thoughts with us. And I am done, and I will go ahead and take that off right there. But there you guys have it. I hope this video kept your interest. For the most part, it went on longer than I anticipated taking the survey, but I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it to show you guys what I'm into, and I'm hoping that maybe Bloody Disgusting or somebody sees this and here takes in some of the thoughts, because I really think as horror fans and stuff, we love who we love, and we like what we like to do, and we love horror, we love the experience of it, we love to interact, and we like to feel a part of things, and even people like me as well who do stuff like this, who are trying to build something, would love to be a part of a horror convention for the first time. I understand you cannot allow like every single YouTuber or podcaster to come in and do something, but it would be interesting to see somebody like myself or other people, that are coming up to be able to attend these and everything. But it also would be nice to see people that don't typically get invited to conventions to be able to come. Like, even like when I was talking to Andre Gower, him and the Monster Squad crew, like bring them in, and people like Richard Gabby and them, and Linnea Quigley, along with Robert England and all them, which they do attend. But like, if you're going to have this massive, huge, awesome, brand new horror convention that gets people excited, I think you got to bring in the from the like this low budget indie films to the B movies, to the big budget movies, to the franchises, and bringing it all together and just having a great horror celebration. But let me know what you guys thought about this in the comment section down below. Leave your thoughts and comments. Tell me if you're going to take the survey, and if you do take the survey, don't forget to mention FanZcene. That'd be great. But let me know what you guys think about this. So would you take the survey, or are you just going to pass? And it's okay if you pass. I know not everybody likes doing this thing, but let me know what you guys thought about this. And if you like what you saw here, maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing, hitting that bell for notifications. That'd be awesome if you guys' subscriptions, or possibly share this video out for everybody to see, or join and become a channel member, because that would help out my channel immensely. Thank you, and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for being channel members here, and for all of your support. And to everybody watching, whether you like me, hated me, or liked this video, or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long wherever you all are. Please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Always support physical media, because it truly is the superior format now more than ever. Godspeed.